Om Shanti. Welcome to today's episode of Masters of Change. When we focus our energy on something, we see growth in that field. The secret to change is to focus all of our energy not on destroying the old, but on building the new. And to help us do that, today we have with us Sister Nina from UK. Welcome, Sister.
So thank you very much, Akshay, for having me here today.
It is our pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Why don't you start by telling us something about your journey?
Well, I think I want to start from the beginning. I was born in Jamaica, and I'm 75 years old. I have lived in London for the past 58 years, and I became a Brahma Kumaris now since 26 years ago.
Okay.
Yes, 1979, or 97, not 79.
Okay.
And there is a very memorable story behind my meeting the Brahma Kumaris, whom I did not know before the first point of contact. I didn't hear about them before at all.
Okay.
I was working as a senior director of a housing association, a particular department with different disciplines. And so my job was extremely taxing, so taxing that I started experiencing the feelings of burnout.
Yeah.
And I realized that I wanted to experience more peace in my life. And so gradually, over a period of time, I just yearned to have this peace that my life didn't seem to include. And at the time, I kept thinking, I want to be a part of a group who focus mainly on high thinking and elevated conversations.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where that came from, but that was overwhelming in terms of the kind of thinking I was having at the time.
Yeah.
And
how old were you? Sorry.
I was in my late 40s at the time. And my social circle didn't seem to be as important as they were to me then. And also, I started feeling as if I wanted to move away from my social circle. The fact is, I was the life and soul of the party. You know, I was the life and soul of everything that was going on in the way of entertainment. But somehow I didn't have that feeling anymore. And I started having a series of dreams, what appeared to be over a period of 9 months to a year. And these dreams would involve this man whom I had no idea where this man came from. All I knew is that he had a really lovely, beautiful presence. And he would be taking me each time he came across the world, and I'd be looking down on the planet. And it was just so exhilarating. What was most important in those experiences was that he would remind me, show me various instances in my life where I didn't quite do very well in terms of my values.
A flashback?
Yes,
sort of
flashbacks. And of course, he would communicate with me through thought. There were no words, just through thought. So I would be taken back in my mind to certain situations in my life where I didn't do very well. And it was very clear how I could have handled those situations in that experience. And it carried on for such a long time that I just knew when he would come and what would happen. And then the last experience involved him taking me again up a mountain, looking down on lots of fun and games taking place, music, people dancing. And it's as if he was saying to me, that's no longer for you. You're going into a new experience. And there's a part of me that was throwing quite a tantrum, not wanting to go up the mountain. However, the last experience was where he was taking me across the world, looking down, and in front of me I saw the ocean to the breadth and depth of my vision. And on at the horizon of the ocean was this amazing sun, rising sun coming out of the ocean. And for me, it was just so intoxicating. It took my whole attention, my awareness, and I said through my thought to him, "Take me there." And as we were moving towards this sun, and I noticed the waves were coming in, and I thought, "I'm going there." I came back into my body. And I was really very upset that I wasn't taken where I wanted to be taken. However, I had this thought that if I was taken there, I would not have come back in my body. I had a feeling that I would have left the body. Anyway, very, very shortly afterwards, and let me just backtrack a bit, during that time of the experiences I was having, I would find myself listening to Hindi devotional music. The language I bore no relationship with, yet I was having the most amazing experience of peace, of tranquility.
During those dreams?
During listening to the music, I would listen to Hindi devotional music.
Oh, in your real life you were listening?
In my real life. Okay. And I was a bit astounded that I was, but yet I was enjoying, so that was fine. Shortly after the last experience where it took me to see the sun, I received a letter from the Brahma Kumaris, from the Oxford Global Retreat Center in Newnham Courtenay. And they were inviting me to a weekend retreat.
How did they know about you?
Because I was a senior manager in an organization. A friend had attended a retreat and given them my name, and they were looking for people who were working at that level in organizations.
And did you know about this friend of yours giving your name?
No. It was afterwards I discovered that she had given my name. So there was on this letterhead was a picture of the center in Oxford, and I was informed in the letter that it would be free of cost, and I was very suspicious. I thought, who are these people? However, I was so keen for something significant to change in my life. I thought to myself, I cannot afford to miss this.
Yeah.
And I drove there, but I was still quite doubtful. And I left all my bags in the car park.
What did you think of? Let's stop you here. What did you think of the organization when you heard its name? Brahma Kumaris, Raj Yoga, something like that. What did you think of it?
I think, I thought these may be the people with whom I need to be in touch regarding my search for...
You had a positive.
Yes, something new. Okay. But at the same time, I was concerned that it might be...
religious.
Yes, that's right. And actually, I was running away from religion. In fact, when I started my search, I thought, well, I'm looking for personal development. I'm not looking for spirituality, because I confused religion with spirituality. And so, yes, I got to the car park, left all my bags in the car park, in my car, walked down to reception, got into reception, and saw what appeared to me at the time, these angels in sari walking about and being totally welcoming and so peaceful. In fact, I was quite sensitive at the time, so I was picking up this vibration of peace. So I raced back to my car and got my things. I spent the whole weekend crying. And the thought as I was crying was, why didn't I find this place before. The conversation, not just the conversation, but the landscaping of the garden, the place where this retreat center is situated. I'd never been anywhere like that before. I mean, peace was vibrating in, through, and around this place. And I felt like a healing process had begun. And so, of course, for me, what was taking place were the tears. The tears were just coming. The tears were just coming. And there were about approximately 80 managers, senior managers and middle managers on this retreat. And the theme of the retreat was based mainly around organizational change. Why? For me, because I was experiencing at the time the housing movement that I was working for was going through a lot of changes. And so every year I had to manage changes taking place in the organization, where people were demoted or they would lose their jobs. And so a lot of taking care of staff was needed by me. And I was really feeling the impact of that. So the retreat was based mainly around that, but it was something that one could use for oneself in terms of one's personal development. So it was right up my street, both on a personal level and on an organizational, professional level. So I just knew
that this is for you.
This is for me. Now, it was 3 nights, I think, the retreat was for. On the last day, we were all gathered in the conference hall, sitting in meditation. We were told to sit in meditation. I was sitting at the end of a row, and there was an aisle just beside me leading up to the stage. And so I closed my eyes, and I was in the most blissful peace. And I thought, something is going on. What is it that's going on now? And so I opened my eyes, and I just looked behind me over my shoulders, and there was Dadi Janki. Now, Dadi Janki, the then joint administrative head of the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University.
You felt her presence?
I saw her. She was at the retreat.
Okay.
She had come specifically to meet us on the last day.
No, but you opened your eyes, you said.
I felt her presence.
Okay.
And I thought, what is it? So I looked behind and I saw her standing there, just looking the epitome of peace and wisdom. Yes. I think that was what really struck me. The wisdom, the peace, the elevated consciousness. It didn't need to speak. It was just a presence that I could feel. And she walked up to the Dadi and she sat, and I simply could not take my eyes off her. And the thought for me was, I want to be like her.
You didn't see her before that?
No.
This was the first time you were seeing her?
Yes.
You didn't know who she was?
No.
And she inspired you?
Yes. I thought, I want to be like her. And so I ended the retreat the following week, having got back home to London. I started the Raj Yoga meditation course. And I think it's really important to say that there can only be one Dadi Janki. But I am the Dadi Janki that I have chosen to be. Because, yes, the journey has been challenging, because one goes through the honeymoon period of being so intoxicated with, the knowledge, the environment, the people around you, practicing meditation. And then, one moves into another phase where it feels as if you doing the work. You need to do the work. And there were challenges, but I'm here now.
What is more pleasurable, having those experiences or doing the work?
It depends on where my awareness is. If my awareness is about outer gratifications, yes, it's the experiences. But when one's awareness is turned inwards, then one can see that through the obstacles, the challenges, wow, the breakdowns,
Yeah, correct.
how much one has grown,
Yeah.
and how much gratitude one has in being given the opportunity to grow.
Very rightly said. What about those dreams? Did you have those dreams again?
No.
Those stopped.
No, they stopped. Well, they stopped coming once I received the letter.
Yeah.
Well, just before. It's almost as if
It was leading up to you.
those dreams were leading up to the point where I received the letter, and they were no more needed because I was now connected to the group I sought, the group I was thinking of with high thinking and elevated actions.
Correct.
Yes.
So now you were a part of that group.
Yes, I'm now part of that group. And it's interesting just to add that it was about 4 years later. One day I was sitting in meditation and the thought came, and who do you think that man was that came in your dreams? And what was the sun? What was the symbol of the sun rise that you were shown? And it came as clear within a split second. It was the angel Brahma Baba, who is the founder of this organization and who had left his body in 1969, 18th of January, that is working through the subtle experience, through the subtle body that came. And that point of light, or the sun, is symbolic of the point of light, which is the supreme soul. And I was even more intoxicated at that point when I discovered how significant that, or those experiences were, that brought me to the Brahma Kumaris.
So all these experiences never made you question when you reached Brahma Kumaris. All these experiences you had before coming there.
I was prepared.
You were prepared.
I was prepared. There is no doubt that I was prepared. And so there were no questions. And I really think it's important to add that I was born in Jamaica. I was never associated with Indians. I didn't have any friends who were Indians. I came to live in the UK the same. And so it felt as if the Avia Angel Brahma Baba needed to prepare me for this experience because it's so new. Just going back to the fact that when I got to Global Retreat Center, I left my things in my car because I was on one hand, I was eager, but on the other hand, I was suspicious about what this organization might be. So I think I was taken very good care of. And it's magical that one sibling out of 7, I have 7, there are 7 of us in my family, I'm the only one who has taken this knowledge to the extent that I have at the moment. So I'm really grateful. I feel very special to be chosen.
How did they react, your siblings and your family and friends around you? How did they react to the change you were going through?
Yes, I think I was the most excitable as a child amongst my siblings. And I think I gave my parents a hard time. And so I was labeled as the disruptive one. And so it was difficult to have that label taken off me. And it took quite a while. But now I'm at the stage where amazing things have happened in the family that I've been able to manage and demonstrate the change that has taken place in me. And my siblings are they're just so happy to see that I'm a part of the family.
Yeah.
And they've been able to rely on me.
They're proud of you.
They're very, very proud of me. Very proud of me. Incredible things have happened. And it's true to say that at least once a week or once every 2 weeks, I receive a message from them just saying thank you for whom you've been, what you've done, etc. I've just recently had a situation with my son, from whom I was estranged for quite a long, long time. And it's my experience of being a Brahma Kumaris that helped me to really work on being detached and not seeing it necessarily as a rejection, but seeing it as that soul being my teacher to teach me about detachment. And so something's happened in his life recently over the past few months that really made it necessary for him to return. And he stayed with me for a good 4 months. And everyone in my family were absolutely astounded as to how I dealt with the situation, how much love I showed, how much detachment, but also not necessarily holding on to the past or holding on to what's right or what's wrong in the situation, but to really give love.
How do you think you would have reacted if you were not a part of this organization and you were not spiritually?
I don't think he would have he would have come back into my space. I don't think this situation would have occurred.
If it would have occurred, would you have let him come back?
No, I couldn't. Actually, I really feel that being a part of the Brahma Kumaris has really saved my life in order for me to be the age I am now. I don't think I would have been able to cope with life as it occurred. The strength and the wisdom that I have received from the Brahma Kumaris has saved my life.
That's a very big thing to say.
I could have been very ill. I could have had a mental condition that took me away from society. Yes. And so going back to my son, I've learned that it's very important when faced with a challenge, particularly in relationships, where you know you're right, but it's about giving up, dying alive. It's about giving up my rightness in order to make a difference.
Correct.
And going back to the phrase, when I change, you change. When I change, the world changes.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw in my son, in my relationship with my son. The number of times I've said to him, I'm sorry. Not knowing what I'm sorry for, but that I am sorry is about holding that space for him to feel loved,
keeping the relationship above everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I can see that, and can see that in your eyes right now. And you were searching for a thing like this when you said you were into your 40s. You were searching for a thing like this to be more peaceful. So I'm sure it has helped you a lot. I just want to know how it has helped your work, at your work life. Has that improved as well?
Yes. Well, in my housing job, I was working 15 hours a day, lots of committee meetings, lot of staffing problems, etc. So soon after I became a Brahma Kumaris, I moved on to something else. And it's interesting, but I was thinking about the different types of work I've been involved in over the years, and it's all about giving, because the housing organization I was involved in was about providing housing for people who were not able to afford to purchase their own properties.
Yeah.
So it's about affordable housing. Okay. I moved from there into working with families.
What made you move from there?
I moved from there because it was quite right at the time. I needed a bit more space for myself.
Because you were working so hard.
Yes, and I had grown out of it. Yeah. And I needed to move into something where I was more meeting people on a one-to-one basis and giving. Okay. It was accurate, I feel. Okay. Because I went into a job where I was working with, I was called a family group coordinator, where I would be working for social services, and I would go into families where there were lots of problems. Some children would be taken into care, or the children would be subjected to being taken into care if things didn't improve within the family. So I would work with the family and really create ways with them of ensuring that the children remained in the family. Sometimes it was not possible. Yeah. And so I needed to use my spiritual values in a much more practical way than I did in the housing, because in housing I was really providing a home for the family. Now I was working more directly with the family.
Now you're helping the families to keep their family intact.
Absolutely, yeah. and actually transferring some very important skills and qualities to them that were really important in making sure that they keep their children at home.
So it was more satisfying.
It was much more satisfying, and it related more to the work I was doing on myself. I worked also as a coach, working with families in my own right. So I would work with the individual in the family, and then I would work with the family as a group. Okay. And the aim of that is really to harmonize relationship within the family.
Correct.
So I did that. I worked with children in schools as well. So, for example, would be a project to work with disruptive children within a secondary school. And so they would be provided with special needs programs where they would be taught about positive thinking. They'd be taught about overcoming their anger, managing their emotions, and actually taking them away. I was responsible for a team of people, and we would actually take them away on a retreat. And that type of project would go on for a year at a time. So I worked with a number of different schools where we provided that kind of service.
Do you think it all would have been possible if it were not for this journey you had?
No, not at all. It wouldn't have been possible, because I was talking about spiritual values without the religious aspects to it, you see.
Correct.
It's about how are you feeling? What are your thoughts around how you're feeling? How can we change your thoughts? How can you develop self-respect and self-worth? Those things, really enjoyable. And another job I have been doing, and still do that to some extent now, is that of a funeral celebrant. A funeral celebrant is someone who is not coming from a religious perspective,
Correct.
but bringing spiritual values into the situation.
Yeah.
And firstly, the celebrant meets the family, the loved ones, and really have a sense of what they would like to say, to do, or say, or create in saying goodbye to the deceased. Yes.
Such a beautiful thing to do.
Yes, absolutely. But it's interesting. Had I not become a Brahma Kumaris, I don't think I could have done that. So everything that I have done since housing really has a very strong connection with my change, my self-transformation.
Well, it was amazing to hear about your journey, and the time only permits us to have this much conversation. Otherwise, we would have loved to continue. But it was an amazing conversation, and thank you for taking out time and speaking with us.
Thank you very much.
Om Shanti.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
It was our pleasure.
Thank you.